Welcome to the channel and the West Saxe campaign for Thrones of Britannia. Now, I'm very much aware that many of you don't like long introductions, so what will be appearing on the screen now is a timestamp that will take you forward onto the actual gameplay. If you want to follow it, feel free and go forward and enjoy the gameplay. So if you're still with me, what is Thrones of Britannia? Well, Thrones of Britannia is the first in a new series which CA called Total War Saga, and it was released on the 3rd of May 2018. If you're watching this in the future, I'm recording this on the 5th of May 2018 if you want a timestamp. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about what Saga is and my reasons for playing it, and then we're going to talk a little about the campaign and then the mechanics, the usual introduction that goes on. Well, Saga is not a full-blown title like Attila, which it's currently based on. This is a new approach from CA to have a focused campaign on a specific time period of history. In the case of Thrones of Britannia, it's the reign of Alfred the Great, which starts around 878 AD. Well, it's his golden period is probably the correct description. He actually ascended, I think, was around 871, I think. I can't remember, don't quote me exactly on that. And this is going to be a new approach, and I think the idea is that CA want to cater for people like me who like historical titles and are maybe drawn to a very focused campaign. I must admit, this is a period of history that does interest me greatly, partly because I do live in the south of England and the Saxon period is incredibly strong where I grew up. In fact, Winchester and the capital of Alfred is, well, within a short distance of where I actually live. So anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about that. And I think the other reason for these Saga campaigns is the fact that CA want to experiment with new mechanics. When Warhammer came out, they got a fairly cool reception from the historical community, which I would say or admit that I'm a member of, who didn't like the new mechanics, and I think this is an attempt by CA to experiment with new mechanics in an environment where they can identify what people really like and dislike, and then that can then go forward to the full-blown title. So that is the reasoning behind it. Now, for any of you guys who follow my channel, you'll be aware that I play lots of Divide et Impera, so I am firmly in the historical title camp. Camp is probably the best way to describe it. And when CA announced this game, I looked at it and I thought, I'd really like the historical period, but there was also my feeling is that, will the campaign satisfy me? So I actually took the conscious decision to effectively avoid getting too hyped about it, and I've restricted my viewing of the game to the mechanics overviews produced by CA themselves and other YouTubers, but I've kept away from first impressions videos where people have talked about what they feel about the mechanics. I've also kept away from following any specific series, because what I wanted to do was actually form my own opinion of the mechanics. So this is going to be very much me going in cold. I have not actually played the game myself, but I have learned the mechanics in principle. So this campaign is going to be very much me going in, talking about the campaigns. I'm going to make mistakes. In fact, that like the whole lot could blow up on me very, very quickly. For that, I will apologise in advance, guys. But I just wanted to get a feel for these new mechanics, these new ways of especially playing the campaign for myself, so that I don't have any of the prejudices of the forums and of other players. So I think that's enough of the introduction to do with the actual Saga game. So we're going to be playing West Saxe. So why am I playing West Saxe? Well, I actually live in the south of England, as I've already mentioned, and I actually grew up with some of the main story of Alfred the Great. It's very difficult to grow up in Hampshire, which is the centre where Winchester is, and not actually get a feeling, because it may be difficult to explain to any of you guys who do not live in the United Kingdom, but when you live in certain parts of the United Kingdom, history isn't something you learn from a book or a tour to the local museum. History, you actually grow up with history around you. In your day-to-day life, you run up against quite important parts of history that you walk past every day. You see it. I mean, a good example is Winchester, which is the capital of Alfred the Great. I mean, if you would go to Winchester, the history is all around you, where it goes. And so this period of history is something that's always attracted me from a very young age. It would be crazy for me as my first campaign to say go and play something like Gwynedd or something like what is it, Great Viking or Northumbria. I mean, because my heart is down in the south of England with Alfred of Wessex, or West Saxe as they call it. Wessex is the modern name for it. So, in fact, I think you'll find as we go through the campaign, I might be reverting backwards and forwards between what's on the page and my actual there. So, that is why I'm playing West Saxe. As you can see here, it says the initial challenge is easy, it's a large territory, and the starting date is 878 AD. So, that's the reason for me playing this, and we're going to play on hard because, as I've said, I haven't actually played this game at all, so I want to give myself a challenge because it says this is easy, but at the same time I don't really want to get completely slaughtered. So let's start with a little bit more history, guys. 878 is actually the beginning of Alfred's, you could say, golden period. He's been king for a few years. I think he actually becomes king in around 871 AD, where he actually takes over the throne from his brother, and I can't remember what his brother is. Maybe if we get into the family tree I'll be able to give you a bit more. And he's effectively in the process of founding England. I think it's very important for anyone who's not familiar with this period of history. England does not exist as a nation at this period of history. What you've got is West Saxe, the Mercia, East Anglia, Cent. These are all independent kingdoms, and the reason that Alfred is called the Great, he was the first king in history to have the vision of uniting all these kingdoms into what eventually becomes England. So this is a very interesting period of time for anyone who lives in the UK. I mean, a lot of people talk about 1066, but Alfred is the period, it's during this period that he lays the foundation. He doesn't actually unify England at the time. He lays the foundation for England. He lays down the basis of what is even today the code of law in this country. Also at the same time, he's pushing forward Christianity across the country, because at this time the British Isles is not actually Christian. There's large areas of paganism. So there's to and fro between Christianity and paganism. So I think that's enough rambling on, guys. Let's get into some of the more game mechanics. You can see the faction leader is Alfred the Great. You can see the main area, starting area, is actually down in the southern part of England, and I think the red area here is Wessex, it should be, and then what you've got on each side is client states, which does very much reflect the situation at this time in history. And up here you've got actually the blue area is Mercia, although strictly speaking Mercia comes over here down towards London. London is seen as a tri-point between West Saxe, Mercia, and what becomes known as the Danelaw, which is the effect of the country being divided after the battle. I think it's the Battle of Eddington or Ethelden, where Alfred defeats the great Danish army. So what you have running, if you imagine a line down through the country, you've got the Christian kingdoms here. Mercia's been split. At this time they don't actually have a king, and everything to the east is actually the Danelaw. Anyway, guys, I've got distracted again, so here we go. Let's get into this. So we've got cultural features, English kingdoms, the Fried. Part-time soldiers pledged to leave their farms for military service each year and can recruit levy units based on the number of owned settlements. Plus 25% commanders, Aurora, all characters, plus 5 melee for all units when defending all armies. And we've got the faction features of the West Saxe. The Witham, the Anglo-Saxon National Assembly, meets to discuss the progress and make new proposals regarding West Saxe's future. They've got plus 5 XP for all generals per turn, so they're going to level up quite nicely. And our roster is strong armoured sword and spear infantry, impressive late game cavalry. Okay, and victory and objectives. I've never looked at this. So what we got here, short campaign. So this is more the traditional there. Short fame campaign, 256 fame, whatever that is. Long fame, ultimate victory, short kingdom, long kingdom. Now I'm not planning on doing this as a long campaign, simply because I am learning mechanics, and we'll see how it goes, guys. I think what we'll probably play for is something like the short victory here, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll go forward. In fact, we'll just see how it develops. I think is probably the best way to do it. So I'm going to go here. Like I've already said, I'm going to play on hard difficulty, and I think what we can do now, guys, we're just going to get into it. Now, again, I'm going to show you the entry video and the introduction from the advisor. If you want to skip all that, feel free to use the timestamp at the beginning of this video to jump forward. So I'll see you in a minute, guys.
Long have the Vikings raided our lands, but nothing prepared us for their great army. For a decade we fought them, the tide of battle ebbing back and forth, until finally they were defeated, and their great army fled our lands. Now, England lies divided, its old political order washed away. Too long have we fought amongst ourselves. Now is the time to unite as England.
England is divided, weakened from a decade of fighting. West Saxe has suffered greatly, but its star is on the rise. It is your fate to bring order back to these lands. You have vassals under your protection who are sworn to aid you in time of war. They are Gwent and Glewissig to your northwest, Defn and Kernu to your west, and Sooth, Saxe and Kent to the east. It is important to maintain good relations with your vassals. If you do not, they may choose to break your treaty rather than join your war. Rumors abound of new Viking incursions in the south. You will need to build up your defenses there to make sure you are not caught off guard when they strike. One of your armies is ready to attack the southern rebels. Dealing with this threat promptly will bring much needed stability to your lands.
That was quite an interesting introduction, guys. As I said previously, England didn't exist at this period of history. That was a dream of Alfred, and the actual what was now known as England was actually made up of a series of independent kingdoms, of which the West Saxe was just the largest. Maybe we'll just have to rewrite history a little bit. So we got mission issued. We should stabilise internally and look beyond. Eliminate the rebels at Skaftfjord. Yeah, well. Apologies for
settlements may be selected by left click.
Go away.
Selected armies may be moved by.
God, it's a long time since I've done that. Game settings. I think we'll put you on low, and I certainly don't want battle advice. So, yep, I'd forgotten all about the very helpful and noisy advisors that's gone on. We're just gonna wing it based on what we're going. We're gonna have a quick look around the map, guys. Oh, look at that. That looks very much. Well, I think that is. If that is Durdle Door, because it's got the notch in the rock, that's actually in the wrong place. Durdle Door is over here. I think someone's confused Lulworth Cove with Durdle Door, because Lulworth Cove is about there. Quite a very nice place to go to, because this is what is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is actually the Jurassic Coast. I'm pretty sure Durdle Door is about there, because this is Weymouth. I think that's Weymouth, yeah, because Portland is down this way a bit. Anyway, sorry for the discretion. Oh, sorry, I could have a look through the map actually, guys. So we've got Skolstad here, up there. Porchester. Oh, great. Now, if any of you guys are not aware, Porchester is in. If you live in the south of England, Porchester is actually a very tiny village now. In fact, it's being gradually assimilated into Portsmouth, which is down here, and a town called Fareham. And this is where I actually grew up. And Portchester is, as I say, it's a very small village, but it's actually the location of a Roman fort, which is still there today as part of a later medieval castle. And it was actually one of the bases of what was known as the Count of the Saxon Shore from the Roman period, who actually defended the south coast. It was part of a chain that defended the south coast from raiders. So it's quite interesting that they've actually put Portchester on the map, actually, because there's Southampton, and then of course we've got Alfred's great capital of Winchester here, and of course because it ends in Cester, it's actually Wintanchester. Anything that ends in Cester is actually an ancient Roman town. So of course we've got Gloucester up here, Cirencester. So that's the way it actually works, guys. Is the Cesters are the old Roman towns, and of course London, being London, has to be different because it's actually a two-part city. Is London? You've got what was called the Roman capital, and then the Saxon capital. Anyway, guys, I don't want to go too much into the map too much. And of course, down here you've got the Isle of Wight. So we actually got a settlement on the Isle of Wight. Now that could be interesting. Okay, and of course we've got Stonehenge here, which is actually out on Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire. And of course that would have predated this period by about 4,000 years. Yeah, I quite like this map, actually. I'm quite taken with it, actually. This is my first time I've actually had a really good thing. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a Aylesbury ring? There's Oxford, Buckinghamshire, Northumbria. Okay, let's just have a quick look at the overall map, actually, before we get into the detail. This is the strategic map. As I say, just to give you a bit of historical background, the red here is West Seaxe. These are their clients. Of course, down here you've got Cerno, which is actually Cornwall, Denver, which is Devon, and then over this side you've got Cent, which is now called Kent. Of course, you've got South Saxe here, which is effectively running below, and then of course what you've got above here, the blue area, is Mercia, which is the second great kingdom of this period, and in fact, and you can see here, this is the border of what is actually known as the Danelaw, going up to Northumbria here, and Mercia should actually come down through here and eventually meet in London, because what actually you get South Wessex, Mercia, and I think this is over here, what would you call it, East Anglia, all meet in London, and London is actually, I think, is a Mercian city. And then up here you've got the various areas that have been settled by the Danes, and I think up here, what's it, we'll have a look on that, goes back. And of course what you've got here is Wales. Now Wales is, in this period, is an old enemy of the Saxons, because the Welsh are predominantly Celtic, and they are what you would call the original inhabitants before the Saxons invaded. But that was in a time, if you want to be slightly mythical, the period of King Arthur. And of course the Welsh actually hate the English or the Saxons. Going north, we've got Northumbria, which is a pretty wild area, and then of course you go up into what is now Scotland with the Strathclyde, which is actually Strathclyde. This is what I think is what most people would refer to now as the Borderlands. Then of course up the top here again you've got the Celtic people, and of course over here you've got Ireland, which again has a long history of dealing with the Vikings as they fought off, because of course I think the Vikings took, actually I shouldn't call them the Vikings, because the Vikings are not a people. And you've got Dublin here, which is actually Dublin, which was founded by the Norse and the Danes, because this is another kind of slightly misnomer. There is no nation called the Vikings. Viking is actually a term for trader and raider. So the people that actually settled into this area were the Danes, and I think the Danes settled in this area coming from Northern Europe, and then in the north part, where their legacy is still strong, is you've got what's called the Norsemen or Northmen, who actually came up through here. And Badenburg, hey great guys, they've got Badenburg here. Sorry for this long introduction, guys, but I'm really taken up with this. Now, Badenburg, if any of you guys have watched the Last Kingdoms TV series, or more importantly, if you've read the Last Kingdom series of books by Bernard Cornwell. I have read this. Badenburg is actually the home of the hero. I can't actually remember who the hero is at this moment, because he's got one of these Anglo-Saxon names, and the whole series is about him coming back to take Badenburg back. Dunham is missing. Yeah, so that's interesting, guys. Very, very interesting. So of course the whole series there, you may get some references from the series, the book. I've only watched the first series of The Last Kingdom. To be honest, having read the books, I wasn't particularly that impressed with it. It was a good series, but the books are far better, and if you want a good insight into this period of the history, I strongly recommend you actually read the books. Bernard Cornwell is a very, very good historical author. His detail is incredible, and he can really draw you into this period and the Charleston period. And one final reference before we do finally start the campaign is, if you do read the books, this period actually picks up at the start of I think it's the second book, called The Pale Horseman. The first book, called The Last Kingdom, actually deals with the kind of anti-hero, I suppose you'd actually call him, because he has this very contentious relationship with Alfred the Great. And the first book deals with his younger days and the Alfred ascending the throne, and then The Pale Horseman actually picks up with this period in history. So what are we looking at? Right, let's just get down to business now. Got to find the menu here now. Provinces, let's have a look at provinces. So we've got that here. So we've got Dorchester or Dorchester or Dorchester. That's going to be interesting, because that's going to defend our northern frontier. Got the Middlesex, which is, and these, of course, this is the new structure. I'm not too sure if I like this too much. This is the minor settlements, and which don't have garrisons, so it's very much similar to the Empire mechanic, where you've got minor settlements which drive your economy, but they're not defendable. So we're going to have to think about how we need to do that, some tactics. We've got Wiltshire here, which is running up here. That's quite interesting. Wiltshire, yeah, going down to Witham. Yeah, I suppose that is Wiltshire. Chippenham, Bathchester. Bathchester is actually Bath, and it's quite there. You've got Somerset Levels, and of course this is the area where Alfred famously retreated, and which leads into the great myth about him burning the cakes or bannocks. And here we got Hampshire, which is the core of Wessex, and this is where I live. This is where I've lived all my life, within the boundary of Hampshire, and of course part of that. So this is going to be a very rich province, but at the same time it's going to be quite difficult to defend. We're certainly not going to be building anything here. Porchester's going to be a bit exposed as well, so we're going to think about that. And then we've got Dorset down here, and we've got Wareham here, and that's going to be quite useful to have that, because that's the main fortified town. So we've got, you're over there, so the Bridport's going to be difficult to defend. That could be quite useful. That's going to be a powerhouse. So maybe we will need to develop our internal areas here. Right, let's go through here. Objectives. Okay, yeah. Missions. There. Right, so we've got to eliminate the rebels. Okay. Economy. This is, let's see, you've got taxes, trade. Now, one of the new mechanics is that if you're, which to me makes great sense, is the fact that if you're friends with somebody, you should be doing trade with them. So that works. Okay. Technology is new, in the sense that it's still split between military and civic, but again, it makes sense, the fact that you should be unlocking the technology once you've actually fulfilled certain requirements. So it's not a question of just choose one and work your way through. What we've got here: build and upgrade within Granary or Soul Chain. We've got to build a water mill. Okay. And what do we need for here? Recruit 10 sword or axe infantry units provided with the garrison building chain and count towards 0 to 10. Okay. Got to get 10 spear units for this, 10 missile units, 10 cav units. Okay. Yeah, well, obviously can't research anything. And this is the new family tree. This is something I do like. So we've got family and politics. Let's have a quick look. And of course we've got Alfred here. He's married to there. So what was this? That's it. Athelwulf was his father. And what actually happened is you got Athelwald here, who strictly should have been the new king when Athelwald died. But what actually happened is Alfred effectively usurped the throne, quite rightly considering the I mean they took a very pragmatic approach in the fact that they couldn't have a young child on the throne at this time when they were fighting the Danes, and that's Alfred. And of course what he has is a number of children. Not sure about these, but Athelfried is actually his daughter. Now she eventually marries an earl in Mercia, and eventually grows up as she matures, especially after her husband dies. She becomes what's known as the Maid of Mercia. Maybe we can do something like that. Maybe we can get them married into Mercia. And of course you've got Edward here, he's not actually, strangely enough, he's not called Edward the First because England didn't exist. He's actually called Edward the Elder, and he actually succeeds Alfred when Alfred dies. I can't remember roughly when Alfred dies. I mean, he probably will die in this campaign. I'll probably get him killed. These are the faction effects. Fame represents the accomplishments of your faction as one of the potential routes to campaign victories. So one of the campaign victories, you need to get that. Leadership, influence, 8th. This man wears the crown of pride. Minor diplomatic bonus towards other factions. So got that there. So yeah, we've got governors and estates. So this is very much like the Attila governor system, slightly revamped. Okay, so that's governors. And what's estates? Estates help you ensure character loyalty by happy. Oh, so basically the king acts as, and he gives land. And again, if you read the books, this is very much a feature of the books. So the crown is okay. He's got 3 estates, and everyone else is there. Okay, so happy with that. I think that's about it. And of course, the start position, we've got to have a crack at these guys. What's this? Supply average. I presume this is similar to integrity. So if this drops, these guys get unhappy, and then there's attrition. Okay. So we've got, this is his army. So what we got here? We've got elite sword infantry, some spears, retinue swords, a couple of archers, cavalry. I'm actually playing with large units, not ultra, because I'm not too sure of. I wasn't able to really test the performance of this machine on ultra settings. I'm a little bit suspicious because Attila had some performance issues, and we've got what we got up here. Can we see the armies? Provinces, armies. Okay.
The men have trained for
so,
this.
right, we've got these guys here, and these are here, and various factions. Right. I think we're going to start with a battle because I've probably bored you guys completely to tears. And now I've got to remember how to fight battles in Attila, because as I said, I play a lot of Dividiet Impera, so I've got to remember that compared to the morale system in Dividiet Impera, these guys actually have weak there. I mean, can we recruit? What's this? Okay, this is the stance. It's fortify. Oh, don't like this. Raiding normal, so there's no double time. And of course there's no patrol as in Dividiet Impera. General details. This is the Alfred family records. Okay, we can get from there. This is how we replace him. This is the new replacement for the trait system. And he's a scribe. Okay, got command, governance. Okay, right. I'm going to stop getting distracted, guys. And we can't recruit because we've got to put if I go into fortify, yeah, he's not going to reach these guys, is he? So we're going to have to go straight in. We'll have a bit of a battle. We'll follow the frame.
Battle is upon you. 3 options are available.
I turned you off.
Auto-resolve, fight, or retreat.
Okay.
Fighting gives you manual control.
Go away. Maybe we'll have to do something about that, so we can have a night attack, quick save, play preview, battle map. Okay, oh, that's cool. Low ground, high ground. Okay. Oh, I like this. It's good. I very, very much like this. Okay. We're just fighting trees. I hate trees. Well, we're going to fight this, guys, just to get a feel for the battle mechanics, I suppose, is the polite way of saying it. Oh, start battle. And as usual, this is the United Kingdom. And oh, that was dry. I mean, if it doesn't rain or foggy, especially at the moment, the weather's been incredibly bad.
Must be deployed before battle. Left click on units to select them, and right click
I'll
on
go
units.
away. God knows why he's there. Okay, let's see. And we're going to fight in trees, and we got to go at them. They're up here. Okay. So we got Alfred here. Now I have read that as he gains whatever it is, experience is probably the best way to describe it, because I don't remember what it's actually called. His unit actually grows bigger, and that big, right? Separate the cavalry out. Okay, what I'm gonna do is just have these guys here. Put the archers behind. What we got here? Archers got flaming shot, bonus versus cavalry. I'm probably going to be using you against cavalry, so we're going to get you in there. Skirmish. Okay, what's cavalry got? Toggle mount, don't dismount. Toggle loose spacing. And under heavy fire, we've got wedge. So we're going to we can use that to attack. What we got here? Shield castle. Target self assemble. Okay, that's useful. Guard mode. I'm glad guard mode's here. So we've got there, and he's got a lot of extra traits in here, so we're going to be able to do something with that. I think we can start the battle. Go away. You keep. Right, what we're going to do is just going to move these guys forward, actually. And now, if I remember correctly, cavalry in Attila was fairly wussy when it came to hitting archers, so I don't want these guys to come in here. And what have they got? They're actually taking. I don't want to go through these trees. I think what we're going to do is we're going to kind of come up through here, bring these guys up behind, and we're just going to keep. Hopefully the horsemen will be hidden in the trees. Okay. Got no axe units. Okay. Heavy speed. Yeah, right. These guys are coming down through the trees. The range. Right, we've got the range of their cav. Should be able to drop some flaming shot onto these. Yeah. Right, these guys are spacing out.
Our general is under attack.
The general's under attack. Right. Hey. Oh. Right. Archers. All shot. Right. Right.
See, they flee before our might.
Get you guys out this way. Cav. Out that way. Right, Cav. Where's their archers? I hate trees. Guys fire into the back. Got to have some archers in here somewhere. Okay. Right. Right, where's their archers? Come on.
The battle is turning in our favor.
There they are. Got them. Okay.
Ready?
Guys in the back. Right, we've got their archers. Okay, we've got them under control. Oh, these guys are holding up better than I thought they'd be. We got here with Alfred. Got to remember how to use this now. Right. Push these. Yeah, we've got those archers. Got them nailed well and truly. Put away, don't need you. Oh, what a load of wusses. Okay. Hey. Right. Guys, get over here. I should have taken you out of wedge. Okay. Up. We've got here metal. That actually gone. I presume that has gone. Okay.
The enemy general is dead.
Right, he's dead. Make sure I think. Wow, the general unit's gone anyway. So general's dead. Praise the victory is moments away. Right, stop them killing my own troops in battle. Well, I'll have to watch the spearmen. They certainly didn't. I suppose I should have put them in castle. Okay, we're going to need some axemen, I think. Okay, guys. Right, they're dead. Now, as far as I know, when the recruitment system comes in, these guys are going to replenish. So what? Yeah, 70. That could be worth it. Okay, we'll just take the cash. Okay. Enemy killed in battle. Allegiance rebels rank 1. Thank you. Mission succeeded. You should stabilize internally before we look beyond the borders. Prove the rules. Okay, ejections, eternal security. And so that's actually going to give me +5 public order. Plus 50% unit replenishment. What's that? 5 turns. Okay, so I think what that's saying is that we actually need to build up this army in 5 turns. We can't recruit. We could get troops here.
We will do our utmost.
Okay. Can we recruit? Let's have a quick look at recruitment. So we can get some swords. Cav. Not particularly that impressed with these guys. Now, what I've been told is that the recruitment cost is cheaper, but at the same time, food is everything. We've got 185 food. What's this? War feather. 70. War feather measures your people's appetite for war. On higher difficulty settings, you may lose more. Battles won. Okay. So we can't actually see what's going on here. What's this then? The freed. Freed is 8. Your armies contain at least just the right number of levies to absorb the enemy's arrows. Okay. So that's food. Units. I think what we'll probably do is probably Alfred's army is going to be slightly more elite. I'd like to keep these guys in, so maybe we'll give this army some scout. You can see here now that you've actually got this recruitment here. I don't like skirmishers, but I think we'll be using archers. Okay, I think we'll just give this army a few units. Like you can see, they will recover. I think what we will probably do is probably follow history, in the sense that I was about to use my pen. Is we're going to probably go against the Danelaw, probably try and make friends with Mercia, defend our southern coast against raiders. The clients will probably have to be on their own. Anyway, so let's get down to it, guys. Diplomacy. Okay, diplomacy. Where is diplomacy? There it is. Historically, West Saxe had strong ties with Mercia, so I think we'll see if we can get anything with Mercia.
Let us drink to a beneficial meeting.
Declaration of friendship improves relations between fractions. Declare war, create vassal. Arrange marriage. Can arrange a marriage. Who's this? It's 40. Ah. He's Athleswith. No, I think maybe we will. Current proposal sufficient. Okay, we'll do that.
Ah, yes, that would work.
That's going to get that there. Actually, so let's get back to diplomacy, guys. Sort by attitude. Right, CERN. Hey, you're one of ours. Okay.
The sooner we conclude, the sooner you can leave.
So we can't do marriage with our own. We're going to have to keep an eye on these guys. Okay. So, everyone sent CERN, South Seaxe, Gwent. We got a client state in Southern Wales. Okay. Different. Them for, so everyone else likes us. Got a friendship with their. You're too far away. Don't really want to go into. Don't want to make friends with anyone that's a long way away. But we're probably going to have a crack at you and you, because these are like the areas of all the independent earls. Because again, in this period of history, the Danes had no central king or leader. What you had was the strongest had the most say, but they were all effectively in earls who ruled their own small areas. Okay, so and I think all we're going to do now is spend some money. Provinces. Right, I'd love to build that up. Money we got 4,000 odd. How much is this stuff expensive? 900. That's not bad. I think now food is obviously going to be a key. So I think we're going to get some food in Wiltshire. This is what you call my heart. Could be my heartland, because we got friends to the north, and it's going to be difficult for raiders to get in. So I think maybe we'll get with some food there. And Hampshire, you're up there. Okay. Southampton we could defend. Certainly not going to bother with the Isle of Wight. Poor old Portchester. I'd love to build that up, but I don't think that's going to be. Okay. This is going to be a bit of oh, that looks useful. That says farm all regions. Plus 4% farm all regions adjacent provinces. Now that could be worth building up. That's going to affect Dorchester. Yeah, I think that could be a good shot, guys. Right. Sorry it's taken such a long time to get to the end of turn 1. I think we're going to hang on to the rest of the cash for the moment. Probably build up Winchester eventually. We get here, because there is no growth in this game now, as far as I know. To increase this, you've got to level up this. Okay, we're just gonna go in. So we're just gonna go for our first turn. Mission issued. The Great Viking Army. When Alfred first took the throne of West Saxe, he followed it with the glorious victory over the Great Viking Army, led the victory to eliminate East Anglia. Yeah, well, we're certainly going to go with that.
One of your noblemen has increased in rank and gained a skill point.
I thought I turned you
skill
off.
Points can be spent to gain bonuses from their retinue of followers.
Yeah, skill point. Okay. Why are you up here? Okay. Wait. Zoom. We'll allocate the skill points then. View character details. Okay. Oh, we got. Yeah. Sorry, guys. A bit of. So this is Alfred. Now I want him as a general. What we got here? Champion. And that looks pretty good. Scribe. What do you get for scribe? So we got. That's more for a governor. Bard. Zeal. What do you get for zeal? Unit morale. Bard Azora. That's not okay. Forager. Food. replenishment, that could be useful. Raiding, I'm not particularly interested in that. Quartermaster, yep, we're certainly going to have that. I actually do like this mechanic actually. So we've got a governor, so what do we want for a governor? Was it the scribe? What we got here? Yeah, I think we're. That looks there. Siege engineer, that's that priest. I must admit, I have mixed feelings on when they took away the agents.
All forces in good order.
Right, you're a general as well, so I think we'll give you make you a quartermaster. So you're actually leveling up already. Wow. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I must admit I've got mixed feelings about not having agents. I mean, I can understand the argument for veterans and wow. Okay. I want fruit, so you go to Witten. Yeah, but I still can't see the point of why the whole map's unlocked. You can't see who's moving, and I personally would have preferred to. At least they should have kept spies. I think 85. I really could do with some axe units. What we got here? Long Kroll Axeman. What's the difference? Charge bonus. I think. Okay, let's take one of each of the Axemen. Retinue Swordsman. What's the difference between the swords? Must admit, I'm not overly impressed with the. Okay, let's have a quick look. Expert Charge Defense, Discipline, Shield Castle. Next upgrade. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Expert. No difference really between them except for the armor level. And I think I really want. These guys have got to build up, so I think maybe we're going to spend the money, get a couple of these, one of these. Certainly would like retinue cavalry. Wow, they're going to be expensive. Okay. Get that there. How much food have we got left? Okay. I think get a couple more axemen. That gets me 13. Right, and then you can then move this way. And what we want to do is get up here. I think our first target is going to be London. I'm missing my pencil. Yeah, I think we're going to have to come this way, but I kind of. I feel this army's wasted up here, so I think. I think if we could get you to Basingstoke, which is Basingstoke, I think maybe if we get you heading this way. Right, we've got a little bit more cash to spend, so. Right, yeah. Okay, what we've got here. Don't have the money. We don't have the money for that. Potters will. This is in Wiltshire, I think. What here? Chippenham. Well, that's not actually an area that's going to be demanded. I think we're that in, guys. So we're just going to go for another end turn. I'm not sure if we're going to get any other major battles in this part because I'm going to keep it around about an hour.
The men have trained for
Right.
this.
Keep coming that way.
The men are ready to serve.
Drop off into here. So we've got 13 out of 20. Got a little bit more food. Now, as far as I know, this pool will refresh itself over a period of time. I think what we're going to do is get. Oh, we've got the one archer. Great. Got 3 archers. I suppose we might as well just snag these guys when we can see them. I suppose is probably the best way to say it. So we're just going to keep building this up. Hopefully these guys, I'm assuming that you could merge these guys if you wanted to. And I think we'll get you moving this way. We've got a bit of cash to spend. What we got here? I think I'd like to take up Winchester. Because that actually, oh, so we build a great hall, we get minus 15 food, that's something we need to wear. We get plus 20% replenishment rate, plus 20% max number, of units in recruitment pool. So yeah, I think we're certainly going to grab that. I'm just going to go for another in turn. Oh, it's like we've got. We're going to be.
My offer is fair. I believe you are wise enough to see that.
Yeah, I mean she's 40, so yeah, I think we're.
Good. It is set.
You marry her. I mean, doubts she's going to have children, and well, we'll just keep these guys happy. Okay.
My hard work pays off.
Have a quick look at the. So she's. Elsford, that's his sister, so he's. Actually, let's change this. Who's the heir? Okay. I think we're going to make Edward the actual heir, as he would have been in history. We shouldn't be letting him. I mean, he won't be upset because he's not of age yet, so we might better do that now. So, Athelwood is, or Edward is actually going to be our heir. Okay. Everybody happy? Thank you.
We await your commands.
Alfred, keep going.
Forward as one.
My army here.
All forces in good order. On the march. Victory is assured.
Because you could recruit to this army and then swap over the troops, but I don't see the point, to be honest. No, I think got to remember that I can't afford to have great big large armies wandering around the map. Provinces, look here. That looks pretty good. I think how big is the garrison here? Toggle garrison details. Got a governor, a couple of spearmen, a couple of skirmishers. Okay. And that provides a garrison of things, coral, and javelinmen. Okay. Have a quick look. Am I already upgrading Winchester? Yeah. I think maybe we will pop that. Can I now? I think we'll spend all the cash, but just pop that for a market, I think, as well. Build the garrison up here, because we get Viking Raids coming in here. There's no point developing that, because unless, of course, they can't get ashore. I mean, there's rocks. They might not actually land here. Well, there's a ferry across there to what would be, well, Portsmouth would be here. So that ferry actually goes into, there's the Hamble River. So there's nothing actually there, so that's just... Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, Viking Raids. Where are the Viking? Yeah, so this is the correct use of the term Viking. If they're raiding into the area, these are effectively Danes or Northmen who are actually, can you say, raiding the countryside. So, got a governor. So, I think we're going to stick with this scribe stuff. I'm still zeal. Oh, that's pretty good. And you're a governor as well, so drop you in here. General, I think you're definitely going to be a quartermaster. Wow, got another governor, so I'm going to give you that. Anything that general, I'm certainly going to give you quartermaster, so you can move further. Wow, and we got another governor up here. Okay, foraging. Pretty good. I mean, unit morale under siege. Commanders are +1 local province. Maybe get some zeal in here later on. Got a bit more cash to spend. Can you get into Guildford? See if we can recruit any more troops. And a little bit more food. Okay. Got another axe. We got some swords. We've got a couple of axemen. Not that convinced with the spearmen. I suppose we could get one of these because they're cheap probably. Okay. And I think we'll get another one of these axemen. That would bring us up to 17. Yeah, food's getting a little bit low. Okay. Right. Where's that? Yeah, you're in the centre in Shaftesbury. We're certainly going to drop that, get some more food going. Okay. And we're just going to drop another end turn. Obviously we're going to get through quite a few end turns in the early campaign. Okay. So we're building up that quite nicely.
We await your command.
Take you to Evesham. And I think before we...
Forward march! Let us advance! To glory we march!
Why can't you
That
go
option
into
is not
Evesham?
yet open to us.
Okay. What is wrong? Oh no.
Soon that will be possible.
I think now Alfred's up here. And Evesham's part of London. Well, we'll see. Okay, right, we've got the West Saxe there. Middlesex, we've got nothing there worth defending. Building up quite nicely actually. That will give us a bit more. Actually, let's have a quick check. Search. Search. This, so we got 7 out of 10 there. Okay. I think what we're going to do is, how high can this go? Land clearance, fields, farm, Grand Manor. Okay. Well, there's no downsides of that, so I think what we're going to do is just keep building this up. And I think I'd like to unlock the research, so maybe if we shove in a couple of... Can't put Alfred there, so if we put...
All forces in good order.
Get you... Okay, we've only got the one spear unit, okay. That's okay. And does that... Okay, we need axemen. Okay, what we'll do is... Got a bit more cash, so... We grab... we'd have to recruit all 3 of these axemen, these swordsmen. Okay, let's grab you.
For all Anglican.
Then the next term we'll get Alfred into
The men have
Evesham.
trained
Okay,
for
we're just
this.
going to go for it, and then we've got a bit more cash to spend, so we better invest that. Dorsets, what we got here? Can't spend that. I think we're got here. Can't spend that in the trade ports. Can't spend that. Somerset's. What we got here? +1 estates. Cattle here. Go with that, guys. Okay. Right, war declared between Braga. Got absolutely no idea where that is. They're fighting in Ireland. That's okay. You enjoy yourself, guys. Right.
The men are ready to serve. Let us advance.
There, I think there's a slight... Right, we've consumed all the pole. I think we have to wait. I think we're just gonna... That archer, that brings us up to 18. And right here,
No.
you're 14, but you're going to be right next to that garrison, which is going to be fun. Okay.
We will do our utmost.
what we may need to do is get this army over in support, because I would love to push on London with a kind of strike attack. It's probably the best way to describe it. Provinces. You still don't have the money for that. Could. Yeah. Bridport. We've got here Orchard. That gives us 2 estates. Okay. That's how's the public order here? How do we? It's not brilliant. Okay. Now, as far as I know, with the public order, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, that this doesn't go up and down between levels anymore. What it actually does is this is there. If it goes red, then there's a chance of rebellion. So we think, can we don't. To be honest, I'm not sure if I particularly like this. Then again, I'm very much someone who likes to actually decide on what I am and am not going to be building. So not totally. 2 more turns. Now I think that's gonna increase. I think we're gonna do with that, because I want to increase my pool. I didn't realise I had exhausted the pool so quickly. Have a quick look. Well, these guys are building up. This is a bit of a long process. Again, I'm not totally sure that's for me. I know some people said it's a good mechanic and it's realistic to the period, but I suppose it's going to be okay if once you've actually improved your replenishment rate. Feather. War feather has increased, the economy is stabilised and your people are content. On higher difficulty settings, money there. So, action encountered, wincing. Not sure how you managed to count that. Right, communal fields. A little bit there, we've got some cash to spend. Right. Dorset. Certainly would like that. 20%, 10% market, all regions. Adjacent to this province. Yeah, but it's not exactly a central province, isn't it? This is something you need to think about. Okay, let's just Hamptonshire. Plus 10%, plus 10 Thane. That would give us more public order. Public order's already good here, so right, you're there. That's going to take most of my money. Let's see if we can get anything a bit better. What we got here? Somerset. So I can't get anything here that improves public order, and that's not. Bit leery about that. You're up here, so maybe I'll get. But that's actually going to increase them. Well, I think you guys can live with that. That will increase public order. So what does this do? This is going to give me another 10 food, a little bit more cash. That's going to give me nearly 100 cash. Regions, monastery buildings, minus 5%. Okay. Actually, economy, tax rate. Oh, that's neat. It actually shows you the public order and the effect of bumping the taxes. Oh, that's cool. Quite like that. Maybe you actually get more food as well. That's weird. So the food actually drops. I think maybe we're making a little bit more cash. Maybe I should have considered that last time.
All forces in good order.
Got anyone joined our pool yet? Nope. Okay. How long does this take to refresh? Big's the garrison in. Not big. I'm very, very tempted because these guys have pulled away. Let's so quick. Look at diplomacy. West Seaxe. You're at war with East Engel. Okay, you're there. Where's East Engel? Okay. East Engel's in lots and lots of wars. So, Bedinburg, that's up. So you're actually at war with these guys. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm gonna fight this. So diplomacy.
My time is precious.
Declare war.
Do not waste it.
Oh, so our allies come in automatically. And towards. Okay.
Our folk will not take this land.
War declared. No. And we're gonna come in here.
Will prevail.
The settlement has been surrounded.
Thank you.
And your
Okay, so we got to lay siege. Oh, wow. Okay. Obtain siege without engaging. We're gonna have to fight a siege battle. And I think what we might be able to do now is consider taking this up. I think we're just going to hang on to the rest of the cash. I think kind of. I think we're going to move you down to here. I just get a feeling we need to do this. Alright guys, right, we're just going to have to go for an end turn because we need the siege equipment. And next thing I've got to do is remember how to fight with siege equipment. Okay guys, we have been attacked. I think I'm going to fight this, guys, simply because it says we're in favour. What's the auto resolve? Wow. Balance of power. Right, we're going to fight this, guys, on the battlefield. They're attacking us, so they're going to have to come at us. You have to be a bit careful with the cavalry. Okay, start battle. Now I've got to remember. Right, let's. I think have to get these guys in the centre. The archers behind. We're going to take you off skirmish mode. Alfred, don't want to risk you. You're going to come up there.
Making ready.
I think
Eager to fight.
put you guys in Shield Castle.
Swordsman!
Put you guys in reserve
Axeman!
because you're damaged. You guys have got a good charge axis, so
Swordsman!
I think we're going to have a couple of you
Thanes!
out on the flank here.
Swordsman!
You're like Levy Axeman, so I'm going to put the Levy Axeman out on this side.
Axeman!
You're the long Axeman, so have you there. And I think what we're going to do, want to put
Horseman.
what we're going to do is hide the horsemen
Cavalry.
in the trees. What you doing? Keep these guys fairly dense. You guys have got Shield Castle as well.
Axeman!
Why have Axeman got Shield Castle? You've got charge bonus. You've actually got Wedge. That could be cool actually, guys. Actually, let's hide you in those trees.
Your light melee infantry.
Okay.
Get them before they get us!
Right, they've got Reinforcements coming in from over there.
Let's do this, lads.
Bring you guys forward a bit.
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units. The enemy approaches. Our hidden units have been discovered.
Ah! The wolf's running across there. Okay, right. I think horsemen over here.
They will know fear.
They got scout cavalry.
The enemy has reinforcements.
Yep.
Archers. Loose missiles. Making ready. We survive. Bowmen. Archers. Archers.
You guys hit these. Right, they're going to try and turn our flank, so I want you over here. Keep you guys hidden in the trees. If they want to stand there, you guys keep whacking them. Guys come this way. Alfred, come this way. Okay, how are we doing? If the AI wants to stand here and you hit these heavy axemen. Don't waste your ammunition. You hit these archers. Okay. Right, you guys. Right, these guys are going to be tired. What have we got coming in? These are levy bowmen. Okay. Right. Cav. Sorry, I'm going to run you over this side again. Okay. Can't move. Okay. You guys just keep killing these guys. Up. Guys are a bit enthusiastic.
The enemy have rallied their units. Missiles, watch it.
Right. I think what we're going to do now is start moving you guys in on this flank. Going to go in on these spearmen on this flank, and what we're going to do is get the cavalry in support. We hit these archers. Exactly what I wanted to see. There's Alfred. Guys coming on these.
The men have been routed. They are leaving the field.
Wait. Horsemen, get away from those stupid axes. Right. Right. Okay. Trying to push on these guys. Come on.
Our men run from the enemy. This is shameful.
Right. Come on, Wussers. What these? These are. Let's break off. Right, where's Alfred? Okay.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Yep.
See, they flee before our might.
Guys are over here. Okay, what have we got here? Cavalry. Get you in on a charge on here. Right. Here, these guys. Let me drive these archers off. Alfred, what can we get here? Guess we can get. Got here. Got on this side. You guys are pushing these.
Enemy general is dead.
Okay. Right, you're getting on the back of these axemen. Okay, end battle. Wow, we won. We won. We won. Right. Right, just gonna speed up, guys. Oh, I've got to remember to fight. Remember how to fight with these guys. You guys chase these. Right here, 22. Okay, go after those spearmen. Wow, we took a bit of a bashing, guys. Forgot to remember this morale system. Anyone else still running around here? Okay. Go after these guys. It's in there. Got 60 odd there. Okay. Go after these guys. Right. That's it. End battle. We lost 279. We killed 1,474. Not too bad for the friendly fire. We lost 5 to friendly fire. Wow. Okay. Oops. And wow, that was pretty awesome, guys. So we're going to take on warriors.
Becoming allies may benefit us.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing pretty well actually, so let's just accept that defensive alliance, because that's what actually happened in history. Enemy killed in battle, Doflin deceased. Dunflin annexed by Brega. I think we can just go with the auto-resolve on this. Okay, so we didn't get a siege of London, but well, I think, okay. Sorry about that, guys, but I can't see the point, to be honest, of actually fighting a battle like that for 2 units. We would have probably lost more to tower fire. Okay. And of course we're going to occupy.
My reputation grows.
Yep, okay. And we've now got London. Okay, we have to repair stuff. Okay, yeah, that means that this should now be stronger, but I'm a bit worried about this army could probably. This is going to be one of the annoying features now, that this army could sneak round and actually do something. I mean, I'd love to swing out and swipe them actually. Okay, right. I certainly want. I think we'd go with movement range here. Wow. Got here. You're not currently researching any technologies. Thank you. What tech? That we've unlocked that. Have we unlocked anything to do with civic yet? Nope. Okay. So what's this criteria then? Ah, so it includes garrisons because we've captured London. That's unlocked. Oh, that's cool, guys. Okay. Yeah, well, that goes without saying that this is a risk of rebellion. Now, the interesting question is going to be is whether the rebellion would actually trigger from there. What was that again? Sorry. They assign a provincial governor. Okay. So I presume these are all governors we've got already. And what have we got here? Born commander. Unit morale and defending. Commanded them. This guy Resig. 5% when defending. So we don't get anyone that's actually a decent commander. Okay. So we might as well go for someone who's a bit young then. We can maybe switch them around a little bit. I mean, I don't know whether somebody... well, okay, well, we can do that. Loyalty -2. Okay, so we... I hate this mechanic where you get... Okay, so as we could, was it estates help to ensure character's loyalty? So could we give him an estate? Okay. You want to continue signing this clip? He's now happy. Everyone's happy, and so in some ways this is a bit like the mechanic in Crusader Kings 2, where you, if the ruler has more estates than the actual his subjects or members of his court, they get unhappy about it. So there's a limit there. Okay. So let's have a quick look. Okay. That's interesting. And I think what we're going to do, guys, is just to wind this part up, we're going to have a quick spin round. I'm still not totally convinced. I suppose Guildford is now in a fairly safe area, so we could spend some money on Guildford now. Okay, West Seaxe. Something tells me that I should be taking that up. That's going to cost me 50 food though. Wow. And that's going to be expensive, but at the same time I feel like I want to drive this a little bit, because these guys may kick off anyway. So a quick look through. Chippenham, minus 50% enemy campaign movement range. Now that could be useful. One more turn and you're going to kick off. Right, so we've got this now. Can we what can we build here? Winchester, Tithe Hall. Can build this. I think this could be useful here. It's going to cost me 100 food. Wow. Because I think if the raiders come in here, and this is actually, how can you say, under control. Minus 100 food. Granary. I actually like that actually, because that will then. Oh, sorry about that. Wrong one. Let's get. I do that because it says Granary. What we get? Supplies on own all armies. +1 research. This could be quite a good route to go down actually. +5 upkeep. All units, all armies. Okay, that might not be such a good thing. Build and upgrade within a build or upgrade within a forge or Steadfordshire blacksmith chains. Conquer the region of the highest level building chain. Okay, specialised builders, construction costs, no. Military support, no. Leadership, build upgrade within the moot hall. Get here corruption, fame, community, upgrade the monastery chain of one or more buildings, library, scribes. Didn't need to think about that, guys. I think maybe to start with, well, we can't unlock this yet, requires technology, 5% corruption or provinces. I like this, guys. It's gonna cost me money and have food production, but I actually like this because I like the idea of the fact that if we get raiders in here, they're not going to be able to move particularly fast. Yeah, campaign local enemy armies. That could be very, very useful to have, and it will allow these guys to come out and strike, to defend. Okay. This get rebellion. Yep, I know. Thank you. Yep, I like that. So we got a little bit more cash to spend. Dorset is building up. Get regions. Right. I think that can go up, take that up a tier. Anything else left that I can build? Okay, we've got potters over there, still not happy with that. Okay. Yeah, you're repairing. That's one more turn. Where's this? We could risk that. It's a bit in a more obscure, but could raise an army here. Right, guys, I think this is where I'm going to leave it. I've probably gone on way too long for a first part in a series, but I probably took up a lot of time at the beginning. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.